Honourable members, I'm pleased to inform you that the President of the Republic of Botswana, Mr. Duma Boko, will address this assembly, present his State of the Nation address. We were to arrange a podium. I think there was a miscommunication somewhere so that the President addressed this House standing, but because that arrangement has not been done, he will address you from the State Chair. Honourable members, it is my singular honour and privilege to present to you the President of the Republic of Botswana, Mr. Duma Boko. That's your... Over to you, Mr. President.
Honorable members of Parliament, esteemed citizens and residents, I extend my warmest greetings to each and every one of you individually and personally. May I request at this point that we pause and observe a moment of silence in remembrance of all our departed friends, relatives, fellow citizens and residents, including former members of Parliament. May their souls rest in peace, and in their memory, let us forge ahead with renewed purpose, working hand in hand to create a legacy of hope for generations to come. Amen. Mr. Speaker, the State of the Nation address is more than a ceremonial occasion. It is a moment when our nation stands united to celebrate triumphs, confront obstacles, and chart a bold course for the future. The annual address transcends reporting on government performance. It is a call to action that embodies the dreams and aspirations of our citizens. We gather here today to not only reflect on our past, but also ignite our collective vision to open and reveal a whole new spectrum of possibilities and ambitions, and thus set an agenda that will shape our socio-political landscape for years to come. I come before you today with a heart full of gratitude and pride as we celebrate the outcome of a democratic dispensation that binds us together. Botswana has just gone through a successful general election that stands out as a blistering testimony to the maturity of our democracy. The outcome of this election represents patent testimonials of the eloquent outrage of our citizens. The peaceful and orderly manner in which the process was conducted is a hallmark of our political culture. For all that, I want to extend my sincere thanks to each and every one of you for your active participation in the elections, in which you handed the umbrella for democratic change, the mandate to serve you and our country. We must consider ourselves a lucky generation, having had the privilege to witness a historic change of government following the rule of one party for nearly 6 decades. This change is further made special by the manner in which it happened, including the smooth transfer of power. For this, I must, on behalf of Botswana, thank my immediate predecessor, His Excellency Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi. He accepted the people's verdict. he gracefully passed on the baton. Indeed, he is a true statesman. This smooth transition marks a recasting, a deepening of the contours of our democratic vision. Botswana's commitment to upholding democratic principles and maintaining peace and stability before, during, and after the general election process speaks volumes about our collective dedication to the future of our great nation. For my part, as I said during the swearing-in ceremony, I am committed to leading our nation towards a brighter future. Mr. Speaker, this is the 13th Parliament. Many of the members of this esteemed House are new here, while some have been here before. Despite this, today, the 13th Parliament of the Republic of Botswana stands freshly assembled. I welcome all of you to this House. Your presence here evidences the trust placed on you by the people. Today, we stand at a pivotal moment in our journey together. This journey will be defined by unity, resilience, and a shared vision. It is inspired by those redeeming values and virtues that bind our country together. Mr. Speaker, our founding national principles of democracy, unity, development, self-reliance, and Ubuntu are not just ideals, but essential pillars that have bound the nation together. Democracy ensures that every voice is heard and valued, fostering a sense of ownership and participation among citizens. Unity enables our nation to stand strong and together against any challenge. Development reinforces our resolve to focus on enhancing the quality of life and creating opportunities for all. Self-reliance encourages individuals and communities to harness their resources and capabilities to overcome the challenges of our socio-economic existence, thus promoting resilience and innovation. Lastly, Ubuntu, which embodies courteousness, humility, and respect, nurtures social cohesion, solidarity, and mutual support amongst individuals and social groupings that constitute our society. By embracing these principles, Botswana will work together to build a robust economy and a thriving society, reinforcing the fabric of the nation for future generations. That is the cornerstone of our change philosophy. We must embrace opportunities that lie ahead and address challenges with unity and a sense of purpose as we work towards an inclusive and prosperous nation. True progress, Mr. Speaker, is only achievable when we come together across communities, generations, and ideologies. We need to work hand in hand to build a society where innovation flourishes, education empowers, and everyone has a seat at the table. We, together, will transform challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. Mr. Speaker, the 12th Parliament witnessed a series of challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic, which claimed the lives of many Botswana and brought almost everything to a halt for close to 2 years. The drought that has affected this country over 2 consecutive years. Declining diamond revenues due to global market conditions. High unemployment levels, with overall unemployment at 27.6% and youth unemployment of 38.2% as at the first quarter of 2024, and the country going through the most painful and harrowing experience on the 28th of March 2024, when 45 Botswana perished in a road accident near Mamatlakala in the Limpopo province of the Republic of South Africa. Let us also remember that prior to this, dozens of other lives had been lost on the A3 road. Mr. Speaker, These and other issues add to the litany of accumulated grievances that the 13th Parliament of the Second Republic must wrestle with. Transformative journey. Mr. Speaker, it is with great humility and a deep sense of responsibility that I address you today to mark the beginning of what in my solemn undertaking will be a transformative journey for Botswana. Robert Lee Frost tells us about two roads that diverged in a yellow wood and how he looked down one as far as he could, and of the two roads he took the one less traveled. For me personally, in my own political journey, two roads diverged in front of me. I looked down both as far as I could. I took neither the beaten path nor the one less traveled. I elected rather to take the road unseen and therefore never traveled, reminding myself every step of advance of the words of Arthur Schopenhauer. Talent is like a marksman who hits a target others cannot hit. Genius is like a marksman who hits a target others cannot see. As a country, we must strive along the road unseen. As your president, I am aware of the challenges facing our country. We are looking economic uncertainty dead in the eye. Diamonds continue to account for about 80% of our foreign earnings, but we shall overcome. The already high, almost 27% unemployment rate continues to worsen, but we shall overcome. The declining birth rate creates an existential threat to our future, but we shall overcome. We have only 78 years of coal reserves left at the current usage rate, but we shall overcome. The government is facing cash flow problems, but we shall overcome. We have to wrestle with social and infrastructural issues, but we shall overcome. Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt that we shall overcome. Though the two paths in front of us lead to either ruin or disaster at this crossroads, Mr. Speaker, walk with me, will you, as we take the path unseen and therefore never traveled. With me as your president and this nation by my side, Mr. Speaker, I say to you, we shall overcome all the odds. I have said before, and I will say it again, I've been down so many times. Down don't bother me no more. We've inherited challenges left to us to resolve by the 12th Parliament. Together we will resolve them and build a stronger, inclusive, and more prosperous future. I have seen the bravery and might of Botswana firsthand. Lesego Chombo dared to dream and came home wearing the crown of Miss World Africa. She now sits in these hallowed chambers wearing the mantle of Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs of the Second Republic. Litsile Tebogo and Ross Branch dared to dream and came home champions of the world. They dreamt big dreams, dreams of immensity, dreams of intensity. There is nothing, I repeat, nothing that Botswana cannot do. Mr. Speaker, this moment demands both immediate solutions to stabilize our economy and long-term reforms that will lay the foundation for sustainable growth. It is a journey that will require bold leadership, strategic action, and the unity of every Botswana. I take you into my confidence. I share with you a vision for the future. I map out the concrete steps we will take towards a future that offers prosperity, opportunity, and dignity for all. The first 100 days. 100 days is not a long time. 3 months and some change. That puts us into February 2025. Already, I've had questions about what this 13th Parliament will do to fulfill our pledges and promises, and we made many. You want to know what this new chapter in the history of Botswana means for you. I treat these first 100 days with the courage, vigor, and seriousness they merit. As it is with any new relationship, First impressions matter, but unlike a fleeting dance under the moonlight, for this union to see the light of morning, consistency is key. I promise you that my first 100 days and my last 100 days will share at least one thing in common. That is, that each day will be treated with the same level of seriousness throughout. The first 100 days present an opportunity to demonstrate swift, decisive action while laying the groundwork for long-term transformation. The first 100 days is a period of renewal and restoration. In the first 100 days, we focus on three interconnected pillars: restoring trust, revitalizing the economy, and building equity. We will restore trust and good governance by 1. Undertaking a financial and forensic audit. I've heard your voices. I've seen your messages. You want to know where your tax money has been spent. We will find that out and report back to you. We will do so. We do so not to subject anyone to targeted demonization. We do so to probe and examine the functional efficacy of our existing systems and institutions. Because these institutions are human artifacts, we can remake and improve them. We must design and roll out a robust institutional repertoire properly suited to the demands and challenges of the unfolding future. 2. Strengthening anti-corruption institutions. You want to know that your tax money is safe with us and that we will protect your money. We will fashion a robust, independent, anti-corruption agency with the authority to investigate, prosecute, and eliminate corruption at all levels. Additionally, we will create digital transparency mechanisms to enable citizens to track public spending. 3. Increasing transparency in government expenditure. You want to know that your money is being used to better the lives of all Botswana, not just a few. We will publish a comprehensive review of public finances to identify waste, corruption, and inefficiencies, followed by a plan for corrective actions. 4. Respecting human rights and upholding dignity. One of our people is unable to rest, far from his home. Country road, hear him yearn. Please take him home to the place he belongs. These words hit my soul like bolts of lightning, and now they leave my lips, and they will carry the soul of a son of the soil home to CKGR, where he can finally be at peace. On International Human Rights Day, the 10th of December 2024, the body of Pitseng Gauberekwe will be buried in the Central Kalahari Game Reserve. His ancestral home. Your government, that under color of court judgments denied him the dignity of a burial in his ancestral land, has now taken the bold steps of abandoning all those judgments and burying him. In this ceaseless quest to uphold dignity, we are unshakable. Civil service reform. You want a trustworthy, dynamic, and agile civil service that serves your needs. We will implement a code of conduct for public servants, and we will train them in accountability and performance. Economic revitalization. We will revitalize the economy and attract investments by 1. Establishing a legal reform task force. Foreign investors want to come here. Botswana has the highest credit rating in Africa, with a BBB+ long-term and A-2 short-term Standard & Poor's rating. The only reason that they are not here yet is that there is a necessary bureaucracy in doing business in Botswana. This legal task force will draft key legal reforms to make Botswana an attractive environment for foreign and domestic investment. It will do so in the shortest possible time, as time is of the essence. Creating economic incentive packages. We will announce a set of incentives to attract investments in high potential sectors such as renewable energy, agriculture, tourism, and technology. We are committed as the government of Botswana to participating in meetings, incentives, conferences, and events, MICE, and will ensure that there is positive impact for Botswana. Fast-tracking key infrastructure projects. We will identify and begin the implementation of strategic projects in transportation, energy, and digital connectivity to boost employment and economic activity. We are committed to working with local and global technology companies to rapidly prepare Botswana for the future. Engaging international partners. We will make our international partners aware of the reforms, opportunities, and new commitment to transparency and growth. On social development, we will build equity and social infrastructure by kicking off a national housing program. We will lay the foundation for an affordable housing initiative by mapping housing needs, identifying sites, and commencing pilot projects in urban and rural areas. Expanding social services access. We will launch immediate improvements in healthcare and education, starting with the most underserved communities. This will include mobile clinics, teacher training, and school refurbishments. Implementing youth empowerment programs. We will create opportunities for the youth through job training, entrepreneurship support, and internships in both the public and private sectors. Strengthening food security. We will partner with local farmers and farming institutions to improve agricultural productivity, including trainings and subsidies for essential inputs and modern farming techniques. Embarking on a national listening tour. I'm aware that the people of this country are smart, creative problem solvers. We will listen to you by conducting a countrywide tour to meet you, hear from you, and adopt your visions and goals and integrate them into your government's agenda. Launching citizen feedback platforms. We know that inspiration strikes haphazardly, and we will give your inspiration a platform to reach us by launching digital and in-person platforms to gather ideas and feedback from Botswana on reforms and development priorities. Undertaking a national service campaign. We will encourage citizens to participate in community improvement initiatives such as cleaning public spaces, planting trees, and volunteering in schools and healthcare facilities. Accountability and reporting. At the end of these 100 days, this administration will publish a state of progress report to the nation. This document will outline what has been achieved, challenges encountered, and plans for the next phase of transformation. Regular updates will maintain transparency and ensure the government stays accountable to the people. I repeat, my first 100 days and my last 100 days will be treated with the same level of seriousness. This first impression will be the theme of this 13th Parliament. The first 100 days will set the standard by which we conduct ourselves. If there is any deviation from the standard, it will only be that we have become better, not that we have regressed. This will not be an administration that delivers in the first 100 days, disappears for a few years, then resurfaces in the next election year, trying to buy your loyalty with short-term initiatives. These 100 days of renewal is not merely about quick wins. It is about setting Botswana on a sustainable path to prosperity, equity, and trust. Continuation from the first 100 days. Mr. Speaker, for too long, Botswana's growth potential has been constrained by outdated legal frameworks and regulatory hurdles. Investors, both domestic and international, require clarity, efficiency, and predictability to commit their resources. Without these elements, we cannot compete with nations that have created more business-friendly environments. In this regard, we will prioritize the following. 1, simplifying regulations, streamlining bureaucratic processes, and reducing red tape to make it easier for investors to set up and operate businesses in Botswana. 2, modernizing legal frameworks. We will update commercial, tax, and labor laws to align with global best practices, ensuring transparency and fairness in all transactions. 3, guaranteeing legal protections. We'll offer clear guarantees on property rights, intellectual property, and dispute resolution mechanisms to provide investors with the confidence they need. 4, incentivizing strategic investments. We will introduce targeted incentives in key sectors such as technology, renewable energy, manufacturing, and agriculture to attract investments that align with our long-term development goals. Attracting foreign direct investment is not just about capital. It is about fostering innovation, creating jobs, and transferring skills to our people. When the world looks at Botswana, they must see a nation that is open for business, fair in its dealings, and ambitious in its vision. Economic reforms must go hand in hand with social development. A nation cannot thrive when its people lack access to safe and affordable housing. The absence of a coordinated housing strategy has left many Botswana without stable homes, exacerbating inequality and stifling economic mobility. To address this, we will launch a comprehensive national housing program focused on the following. 1, affordable housing for all. We will work with local developers and international partners to construct housing that meets the needs of low and middle income families. 2, innovative financing models. We will establish low interest loans, rent to own schemes, and public-private partnerships to make home ownership achievable for more citizens. 3, sustainable urban planning. We will develop modern, well-planned communities with access to essential services such as schools, healthcare, and public transport. 4, revitalizing rural areas. We will ensure that housing programs are not limited to urban centers, but also extend to rural communities, fostering balanced national development. Housing is more than just a roof over one's head. It is a foundation for opportunity. It provides stability for families, boosts productivity, and stimulates local economies. A strong housing program will also create jobs in construction, finance, and related industries, driving immediate and long-term growth. Will attract investments and improve housing, for these must be deeply connected. By creating a legal environment that encourages investment, we unlock the resources needed to fund large-scale development projects, including housing. Likewise, a robust housing sector provides the stability and infrastructure that investors seek when deciding where to place their capital. Botswana's transformation requires bold, coordinated action. Legal reforms will lay the groundwork for economic expansion, while a national housing program will ensure that the benefits of growth reach every citizen. Together, these initiatives will not only transform our economy, but also uplift the lives of our people, restoring pride and dignity to our nation. This is the path forward, clear, ambitious, and achievable. With your support and determination, we will turn this vision into reality, building a Botswana that is prosperous, equitable, and prepared for the challenges of tomorrow. Economic diversification beyond diamonds. Mr. Speaker, Botswana's reliance on diamond revenues has been our strength, but it has also made us vulnerable. The decline in diamond revenue by over 60% in recent years is a clear signal that we can no longer afford to depend on a single commodity. To secure Botswana's future, we must diversify our economy, focusing on sectors like tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, information technology, and healthcare. We know that Botswana receives more than 3,200 hours of sunlight annually and averages 21 megajoules per square meter, which is among the highest in the world. The potential of solar energy is immense. Botswana's climate requires robust solutions in the field of agriculture, so there is more food security. Botswana needs new industries in sports and entertainment because Botswana's creativity is infinite. Botswana needs factories for manufacturing. We must be able to say we have products and goods proudly made in Botswana, by Botswana, for Botswana, and for the world. Botswana needs to embrace the fourth industrial revolution, digitalizing access to basic services, enhancing connectivity to all parts of the country. Botswana needs a robust healthcare system that can compete at an international level, and more importantly, that is accessible to the citizens of this republic. To achieve this, this administration will launch several priority initiatives. We will establish a national development fund. This will be a government-backed fund to finance strategic national projects, support key sectors, and act as a key partner for foreign investors. This fund will help us drive economic growth, reduce dependency on diamonds, and build resilience in our economy. We will promote local industries and develop sectoral strategies. Through the launch of the national sectoral strategies, we will focus on strengthening our agriculture, food security, and manufacturing. These strategies will promote agricultural innovation, develop infrastructure in rural areas, and support local producers. Reducing imports while increasing local production will be critical to creating jobs and fostering sustainable economic growth. We will reform local capital markets to facilitate financing for both public and private sector projects in local currency. We will launch a comprehensive reform of our capital markets, enabling businesses and the government to access affordable funding for critical projects. Expanding infrastructure. We will update and develop a national infrastructure plan focused on energy, logistics, and internet connectivity, critical pillars for modern economic growth. These improvements will provide the foundation necessary for private sector development and job creation across all sectors. Job creation and skills development. Mr. Speaker, high youth unemployment remains one of the most pressing social issues. To ensure that young Botswana have the opportunities they deserve, we will prioritize job creation, skills development, and youth empowerment. Our initiatives will include 1. Vocational training and apprenticeships. We will launch nationwide vocational training programs and create apprenticeship opportunities to empower young people with hands-on skills for the workforce. Additionally, we will provide small business grants to encourage youth entrepreneurship and innovation. Strengthening education and job market linkages. Through initiatives like the Government and Enterprise National Initiative for Employment, GINI, we will ensure that our education system aligns with the needs of the job market. We will also provide resources for young people to acquire the skills most in demand by employers in emerging sectors. The National Housing Strategy. We will launch the National Social Housing Strategy to address both housing shortages and youth unemployment. This initiative will employ thousands of young people in the construction sector while providing much-needed affordable housing to our citizens. Public sector reforms and efficient resource management. Mr. Speaker, a strong, effective public sector is essential for the efficient delivery of services to our people. We will reform public sector institutions to make them more efficient, transparent, and responsive to the needs of Botswana. In the medium to long term, the following key work streams will guide our reform. The first, medium-term fiscal framework. We will design and implement a medium-term fiscal framework to ensure fiscal sustainability. This framework will help us balance government spending with available resources, restore fiscal buffers, and create the financial stability needed for long-term growth. Reform of state-owned enterprises. A review of key state-owned enterprises will be conducted to improve government and operational efficiency. By enhancing the performance of SOEs, we will reduce fiscal risks to the government and improve overall economic efficiency. Healthcare, education, and infrastructure improvements. Further action will be taken to improve access, quality, and efficiency in healthcare, in education, and infrastructure. We recognize that these areas are critical to social development and public trust, and we will invest in improving service delivery for all Botswana. Regional and international trade. Mr. Speaker, in an interconnected world, we must strengthen our national security and develop strategic regional and international partnerships to diversify Botswana's revenue streams and open new markets for our goods and services. We will, 1, access international capital. We will begin to engage with international credit markets to raise capital for government development projects. This will help us address fiscal deficits, finance infrastructure projects, and promote Botswana as a favorable destination for investment. 2, promote trade partnerships. We will work closely with neighboring countries and international organizations to explore new trade opportunities. High-level government visits will be organized to strengthen ties with key trading partners and attract foreign investment to our priority sectors. Environmental sustainability. Botswana is blessed. Our natural resources, our natural environment, is one of our most valuable assets, and we must protect it. We will prioritize policies focused on environmental protection, climate change, mitigation, and sustainable resource management. Our initiatives include a national ESG strategy. We will launch a comprehensive environmental, social, and governance strategy that emphasizes green finance and positions Botswana as a leader in climate action. This strategy will attract international capital to essential sectors like renewable energy, waste management, and conservation. Next, renewable energy initiatives. We will invest in renewable energy projects such as solar, wind, and bioenergy, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and creating new economic opportunities for our people. conservation of natural resources. We will expand efforts to protect Botswana's unique wildlife and ecosystems, ensuring that our natural reserves remain pristine for generations to come. Ecotourism will play a vital role in both preserving our environment and generating sustainable income for local communities. Agriculture and food security. Mr. Speaker, agriculture has always been a cornerstone of our nation's economy, yet it remains underdeveloped in many regions. The challenges we face, from climate change to outdated farming techniques, demand bold and strategic reforms. This administration will focus on boosting agricultural productivity, enhancing food security, and developing sustainable farming practices that ensure long-term prosperity for all Botswana and bringing in new industries. Our initiatives will include the following: modernizing agriculture. We will promote the use of agricultural technology to enhance productivity. This includes precision farming, smart water management systems, soil enhancement technologies, and regenerative agriculture, which can help our farmers optimize crop yields, conserve water, and adapt to the challenges posed by climate change. Soil health and sustainable practices. We will encourage sustainable farming practices to improve soil health and ensure long-term agricultural productivity. This will not only help increase yields, but also preserve the fertility of our land for future generations. Boosting food security. We will invest in food processing industries to add value to raw agricultural products and reduce our reliance on food imports. By processing local crops into finished products, we will create new jobs, reduce waste, and improve food security across the country. Support for small-scale farming. We will ensure that smallholder farmers have access to the resources, training, and financing they need to succeed. Supporting rural farmers will be key to improving livelihoods, increasing food production, and reducing poverty in our rural communities. Introducing the cultivation and export of medicinal cannabis and industrial hemp. Through legalizing and regulating this industry, we will birth an industry previously unknown to our republic except through illicit trade. We will create jobs in this industry. This will facilitate the innovative use of hemp-based materials like hempcrete, hemp bricks, and hemp fiber panels. This will significantly reduce our dependency on imported construction materials and lower overall building costs. This will further push for the diversification of our economy. According to the global statistics, the cannabis market size was valued at $43.72 billion in 2022 and is projected to grow from $57.18 billion in 2023 to $444.34 billion by 2030, exhibiting a compound annual growth rate of 34.03% during the forecast period. North America dominated the global market with a share of 81.79% in 2022. Our forecast in Botswana is to significantly increase our GDP with cannabis and hemp-related products. Manufacturing and value-added processing. Mr. Speaker, in order to diversify our economy and create high-paying jobs, we must move beyond simply exporting raw materials. One of the most effective ways to do this is by investing in manufacturing and value-added processing. This administration will prioritize the development of key industries that process raw materials into finished products, creating jobs and increasing the value of Botswana's exports. Our initiatives will include encouraging industrial growth. We will invest in infrastructure and training to create a competitive manufacturing sector in Botswana. This will include focusing on industries where Botswana has significant potential to add value. Incentives for local manufacturers. We will introduce incentives for local manufacturers, particularly those that utilize locally sourced raw materials. This will include tax breaks, subsidies, and market access support to encourage businesses to establish production facilities in Botswana. Export promotion. Through the National Export Strategy, we will help local manufacturers reach international markets, further diversifying our economy and increasing our foreign exchange earnings. Through strategic partnerships and support for export-oriented businesses, we will aggressively push for the Made in Botswana brand to make our products stand out from the rest. Technological advancement. Mr. Speaker, government is committed to working with local and global technology companies to rapidly prepare Botswana for the fourth industrial revolution and drive meaningful economic transformation for our nation. We have engaged SpaceX and Starlink to accelerate efforts to extend affordable connectivity options to the entire country. With affordable, high-speed internet access across Botswana, citizens will have greater access to remote work opportunities, innovative educational content, and high-quality medical care, among others. This will lead to direct and indirect employment opportunities and a better quality of life for our people, whether they live in cities or the most remote villages. Starlink's planned infrastructure investment in Botswana will help transform Botswana into a digital hub for the entire SADC region, leading to increased employment opportunities, attracting further investment from global technology companies. Based on the commitment to enhance access to quality education, this government will accelerate the implementation of school connectivity projects through the Village Connectivity Program. By the end of November, we will have connected 100 rural schools, with plans to connect 300 more in early 2025. Healthcare. Mr. Speaker, our physicians, nurses, allied healthcare professionals, and administrators are often overlooked. Yet day by day, they dedicate themselves to serving our people in their most vulnerable moments. Mr. Speaker, I want them to know that we value them, we appreciate them, we love them. This government is committed to providing them with the support they need to better serve the nation. Together we will build a system that not only treats illness but promotes health through predictive and preventative care. We will roll out multiple initiatives to realize this vision. 1, a national mandatory health insurance scheme. 2, a universal health coverage plan for all citizens. 3, a national health digitization roadmap to modernize our systems. And 4, investment in infrastructure, capacity building, human resource development, and public awareness. The goal is to design, develop, and implement a sustainable health safety net that leaves no one behind. Cost-cutting measures. Mr. Speaker, it is our considered view that our country loses billions of pula to wastage due to poor management or negligence, or even subtle and clear-cut corruption. Consequently, the Ministry of Finance will at the appropriate time announce rigorous cost-saving measures, including: first, wastewater treatment. Water bills for senior schools exceed 300 million pula per annum. By implementing wastewater treatment plants, water substitution, and recycling, we can significantly reduce these costs. This estimate excludes savings from fixing leaks in pipes and storage tanks. Expansion of these measures to other institutions, such as the BDF, prisons, police, and hospitals, could further reduce expenses. Procurement costs. This government will ensure fair pricing for basic goods and services. No markup on procured goods will exorbitantly exceed the price of the goods from the supplier. Establishing standard pricing for essential items will control procurement costs. IT systems. Will assess the cost of government IT systems, including implementation, maintenance, and licensing. We will explore opportunities to empower local youth to develop and manage these systems, reducing reliance on expensive external providers. Implementing a pay-per-transaction model for system development, where service providers receive payment based on usage, such as with the driver's licensing system. This will incentivize system developers to maintain high service standards and ensure the system's sustainability until fully paid off. The Development Manager Model, DMA. The application of this model may have resulted in inflated project construction costs. This model will be reviewed to ensure fiscal sustainability. Rented properties. The government is not paying market value for rented buildings. A review of rental agreements and renegotiations will yield substantial savings. Agriculture programs. We will review Timoletlotlo, Tuoletlotlo, and Majai Khorosa programs to ensure value for money. State-owned enterprises. We will minimize wastage within state-owned enterprises, strengthening public-private ownerships to attract external investment, including equity-based investment. Solar farms. We will implement grid-connected solar systems for institutions to produce their own power, leverage impact funds to finance solar initiatives, reducing the need for direct government funding. Artisan workshops and facilities management. We will develop low-cost workshops for artisans to provide services to government institutions, creating jobs and supporting local economies. Private sector involvement. We will encourage private sector participation in infrastructure projects such as roads, where investments generate revenue. The SADC House model is a successful example of such partnerships. Budget review. We will conduct a thorough review of existing budgets to identify essential expenditures. We will assess each project to determine which should be government-funded and which can be self-financing. International relations. Mr. Speaker, government is firmly dedicated to fulfilling its international obligations and remains committed to its membership in regional and international organizations such as SADC, the African Union, and the United Nations, among others. In this spirit, I would like to remember and express my profound gratitude to the men and women who served under the Southern African Development Community Mission in Mozambique, working tirelessly to establish peace and stability in the region. I also wish to pay tribute to those who lost their lives during this noble mission. We will enhance collaboration with our regional partners to ensure that Botswana's voice is heard in the Southern African Development Community and the African Union, further strengthening our role in regional and continental diplomacy. We will refocus our foreign policy to ensure that our advocacy voice is heard in the promotion of human rights, democracy, justice, good governance, peace, and security. The capacity of our diplomatic missions will be strengthened to effectively advance Botswana's national interests on the global stage. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, let me remind Botswana that we've set ourselves a lofty goal of becoming a high-income country by the year 2036, and we are left with only 12 years to achieve this goal. We were well aware of the commitment and demands it will take to achieve this goal, and as you all know, change does not happen on its own. Neither can it just be wished. As we develop our National Development Plan 12, we will begin the transformation journey enunciated in our manifesto. The plan will reflect our intent and demonstrate our willingness to make the necessary sacrifices to achieve our ultimate goal. As a society, we must be prepared to do things differently if we are to achieve different results. Let us remember that what kept us as upper middle income will not necessarily take us to high income. We will therefore put in place systems and processes that engender a culture of meritocracy aimed at transforming our government to become more agile and accountable. I appeal to every citizen and resident of this country to commit towards putting our nation, our Botswana, first in everything we do. Equally important is for the private sector and civil society to take their rightful roles to become the drivers and guardians of our development. The challenges we face are significant, but they are not insurmountable. By embracing bold reforms, driving economic diversification, investing in our people, and ensuring transparency in all government actions, we will build a Botswana that is resilient, sustainable, and prosperous. This is the Botswana I see, a nation where opportunities abundant, where young people have the skills and jobs they need, and where our natural beauty is preserved for future generations. Let us come together, as we always have, to build a brighter, stronger future for our nation. Bagaetsho, we have the responsibility to ourselves and to each other to make our aspirations a reality. On my part, I commit to spearheading the transformation of our government, society, and economy. This is therefore a clarion call for national transformation. Fatseleng, ke la rona rotlhe bagaetsho, a re le tshwaraganeleng. God bless you all. God bless Botswana. Ya leboga. Pula.
Please be seated. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I'm happy to report that this Honorable Assembly has this day attended the official opening of the first meeting of the first session of the 13th Parliament, and that the President of the Republic of Botswana, Mr. Duma Boko, was pleased to deliver the State of the Nation address. For greater accuracy, I have obtained copies of this address for immediate distribution to all honorable members and to all our invited guests as they leave the chamber. Let me at this point add leave from the text and thank all of you for coming. Thank our former presidents, former vice presidents, former ministers, former members of parliament, the clergy, especially in a special way, the emissaries of His Grace, the Bishop Joseph Enyanas Lekanyani of the Zion Christian Church, the St. Enyanas Zion Christian Church, all the way from the city of Moria in South Africa. Baruti bote ke a le leboga magosi a rona, the business community, members of the diplomatic corps, leaders of political parties, le Botswana hela lote ka kakaretso ba le ne le tile tirong e tona e ke a le leboga. In addition, honorable members, our invited guests and honorable members are invited for refreshments in the Parliament grounds. The protocol officers will show you where you are going. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, as we have come to the conclusion of the business of today's order paper, I shall now call upon the Honorable Leader of the House, Honorable Leader of Government Business, Honorable Moeti Caesar Muhasa, to move a motion of adjournment. Order, Honorable Botswana. Ako iketele Honorable Muhasa. Honorable Muhasa, can you move the motion of adjournment?
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House do now adjourn.
Order, honorable members. Honorable members, the question before you is that this House do now adjourn. Order, honorable members. The question is that this House do now adjourn. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. On the contrary, say no. No. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.